Good morning, everyone. Got your coffee? I got mine. So listen, it's not even 5 a.m. yet. And you would think that I would have slept a whole lot longer than I did. But, I'm menopausal. And that means, sometimes I don't always sleep well. Plus, I'm a bit of an insomniac anyway. But being premenopausal does not help with that. Not at all. Anyway, listen. I have a big day today. I have to go to the daycare center and do a little sharing with the little kiddos because we have a little bit of overflow, especially in the book department. Y'all know we always have overflow in the book department, but at least those books get used and utilized there. And I have to go to my P.O.Box, and then I have to go to our big pantry and do my own personal donating at the big one, because this small pantry is just for this area. And, when I do my personal donating, I like to do it to that big central one. So we're going to be heading there too. And then I have to go to the grocery store, and it's towards the end of the month for me too. So towards the end of the month, I can't do those delivery splurges. I have to actually show up at the market because money is a little bit low. Speaking of which, towards the end of the month, I don't know if I ever mentioned it, but donations for the library pantry are always, low towards the end of the month. And I totally get it. It's when people are starting to get ready to pay out all of that money because, in the next week or two, you got to pay rent. You got to pay, if all your stuff is lined up like mine is, then you got to pay your life insurance, your auto insurance. You got to pay, lights. You got to pay gas. You got to pay water. You got to, then the next week after that, I have it where all my subscriptions are coming out. So, the end of the month is shaky, for me. And I know it's for a lot of people. But I still want to say thank you again to Miss Vita. Your little footballs came. These things right here are going over really well in the pantry. I do not know why. It's the things that I think will go over well sometimes don't at all, and they'll sit in there. And then things that I think that the kids won't care about, like when I thought about putting these in, I didn't think these would go over really well. I thought that they would want the bigger footballs because they got excited over those, the regular footballs. So I didn't think they'd care about these. These went fast and furious. We can only put them in there 2 at a time for obvious reasons, but they go really, really fast. And I thank you for buying, a couple of them for us. Thank you, Miss Vita. Matter of fact, one of the kids yesterday at 5:30 rang my doorbell and said, "Hey, can you come out here and can you open this green box for us?" And I said, "Honey, absolutely not. When it's closed, it's closed, okay?" I said, "And we would like it if you wouldn't ring our bell or knock on our door when it's closed." And she was with the child that knew that rule, that we don't like for them to knock on our door and bother us because, if we don't prevent people from doing that, people will knock on our door all the time. And so we have to teach the kids. We teach them gently, but we teach them, we don't want to be bothered inside the house about that pantry. When it's locked, baby. It is what it is. You got to wait till the next day at 9 a.m. That's when it opens again. So you can't set your own hours. We are a small library pantry. We are not Walmart. So you have to let them know that, But anyway, Rolando, I want to say thank you so much for that yesterday. And I did exactly what you told me to do with it. I put it in it's the last donation made, as a matter of fact, to the Great Escape over there. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Always so supportive. Thank you for all that you do. Listen, I want to tell y'all a bit of a story today if I can. Enough of the chit chat. Let me tell y'all a story, and I promise you that I have a point to it if you stick with me. I used to belong, for you black women, right around my age, 40 and up, we'll say, or maybe 30 and up, we'll say, come to the front of the room. Now, on Facebook, all of my travel groups are on Facebook. All my black girl groups are on Facebook. And I joined black girl groups for a reason. Much like the room, they are spaces where black people are supposed to be able to black people. And a lot of the times, the reasons why we create those spaces is because when we join a regular, schmegular traveling group, we always have to deal with the racism. You know, whether it's a shopping group, a travel group, a book club, doesn't the racism, when you are in a group with white people, particularly white women, the racism always shows up. So black people, it's like we understand why we need our own spaces, but we don't understand why it is we shouldn't be catering to white people in the way that so many of us do. Now listen, I joined this group a few years back, quite a few years back, called Sisters Traveling Solo. I don't mind telling you about the name of the group because they did what they did, and I'm not lying on them. I enjoyed this group a lot. Can't travel as much as I used to because money, money has gotten real tight for us in this economy. And so we haven't had a vacation, let me tell you, in 7 years? That's how long it's been. I'm almost ashamed to say that, but not really, because this is what America has done to my husband and I. We haven't gone on an actual vacation in 7 years. So anyway, that's about how long ago I joined this group. Now, I was in this group for a while, and at some point, I don't know at what point, they started allowing white women into the group, and I thought, that's interesting. So white women, white people, when we invite them into our spaces and we allow them into our spaces, take the cookout, for example, they always do what it is they end up doing, and is they come into our spaces because they are harmful, because they are racist, and because of their privilege. At some point, 9 times out of 10, they become problematic. So this is what this one particular white woman did. She became very problematic. So black women are talking and having a conversation with one another, and they're planning a trip. And I believe this trip was to Jamaica. I'm not sure, but I think it was to Jamaica. So the white woman does what white women do, and she centered herself in this discussion. She wasn't even going on the trip, mind you. She said, I just want to know if I go on this trip, if I'm going to be welcome. And nobody in this group of something like 30,000 black women picked up on that. Or if they did, they didn't say anything about it. But me, I'm always going to say something about it. I'm always going to point it out. And so I answered her question because she asked the question. So I answered the question. I said, me personally, I would have a problem with that. But let me tell you why I would have a problem with it. What you're doing right now in this moment is why I would have a problem with being on a trip or an excursion with a white woman. It's not because I'm racist. I'm not a racist person. I don't hate white people. By any stretch of the imagination, I have problems with white people, and I have problems with white people who are racist, and I have problems with how that racism makes them move. Whether they understand that that their behavior is racist or not, whether they're conscious about the fact that they are racist or not. Believe it or not, there are a lot of people who think that they are not racist, but they are racist because their privilege will cause them to behave in a way that is racist, meaning the way she came into this group of black women and centered herself like that. She made the discussion, she took the discussion away from those black women and made it about her. Now you got all these black women up under her comment, soothing her. It's okay. If you rock with us, we rock with you. No, you're more than welcome. I didn't feel that way. Because if that's what she's going to do in the group, what do you think she's going to do at the airport, on the airplane, at the resort, on the excursions? What do you think she's going to do the first time her privilege allows her to do it? This is just what she did in the group. So I basically said, yeah, I would have a problem with that. I would have a problem with that because look at the way you're centering yourself right now. Not only that, but this is a group for Black women by Black women, meaning we want to travel together because we realize, at least that's what I thought, we understand the harm that you all do when we interact with you all. At least I thought being in a group with Black women understood that, but I guess a lot of them didn't. Believe it or not, just like there are a lot of white people who don't really understand how, they understand racism, but they don't understand how their particular racism works, their personal racism works. There are a lot of Black people who do not understand how internalized racism works. And part of internalized racism, especially when you are a Black woman in a group, and a black women, a whole group of Black women, we have been socially trained to take care of everybody except ourselves. Whiteness has socially trained us, socialized us to put them before us. And that definitely means their feelings and emotions. So even in a group of Black women created by Black women, these Black women were soothing and pacifying this white woman. So I said, no. I said, you all show up in our spaces, you become harmful. I said, I don't trust you because of it. And I'd rather, if I'm going to collect my little coins, because that's what I got to do to take a vacation, I got to plot, plan, and save. We're going to Michigan in October, and look how long it's taken us. I haven't paid for our hotel accommodations because I still need that time in order to do it. We bought the plane ticket, sure, but I still have to pay for the hotel accommodations. That's how long it takes us to save, because that's where we are now. And that's just the real of it. So you mean I'm going to plot, plan, strategize, sacrifice, save, just to have some white woman in my face, white woman in, being a problem, taking away the joy from what I've saved for, what I've sacrificed for? And mind you, I ain't saying that she wasn't saving or sacrificing either, but it's just the fact that they have more resources than us. And maybe that's why they let her in. And maybe that's why they started letting white women in. Maybe that's why. Because not enough of us sisters were taking the trips and the excursions so that they could make the money from those trips. Maybe that's why. But I felt like I should have been able to answer the question honestly. And I did. I answered it honestly. Yeah. I don't want to be in close proximity with you on my downtime. I don't want to have to think about how whiteness affects me in my downtime. I don't want to have to deal with your microaggressions and macroaggressions in my downtime. I don't want to have to deal with your racism and your white woman ways in my downtime. I don't want to have my walls up and my guards up because there's this white woman. There are white women in the group. And white women are always going to throw us under the bus as soon as it's convenient for them. Well, let me tell you, they kicked me out of the group and kept the white woman. These Black women. It just goes to show you how unconscious so many Black people are when it comes to racism, what it is, how it works, and how white people move within it, and how we have been socially trained to move within it. I'm still not over the fact that they kicked me out of that group that I really enjoyed and kept that white woman. And not only did they keep her, but they reassured her, they pacified her, they gave her reaffirming words, reassuring words, and showed her love. And they put me out because they felt like I was the problem, because I told the truth about racism, how it works, and how it affects us when we allow them into our spaces. I didn't realize I was in a group full of cookout sisters. But I was. The point of me telling you this story is this, Black women. Justin Bieber does not need you all to protect him. He doesn't. This is a rich white man with resources, and whatever the fuck is going on with Justin Bieber got the resources to get himself through it. Y'all are always throwing yourselves in the path of white people, and y'all always allowing them to use your bodies, your minds, your emotions, your thoughts, your prayers for their own benefit. We are not built-in support systems for white people. Especially considering who most of them are. Whether something happened at those Diddy parties and he is an actual victim, we won't know unless he say it. Or if he's got some kind of drug addiction, or he's got some kind of mental illness problem going on. What if I told you, if you liked his music and you're a fan, you can say a silent prayer and go on about your Black business and continue uplifting your own community? Because there are Black people who are addicted to drugs. There are Black people who have mental illness problems. I can't even tell you how much that sector needs help right now. Mentally ill Black people get gunned down in the streets of America. Justin Bieber can go to Promises out in Malibu and pay for that just fine. He has a resource. Stop going out on a limb for a white man who got married at a plantation to a woman who I'm sure is racist as fuck. And don't think, this is another thing. Don't think that because he was a part of Black culture and because he has good relations with other Black performers that this man is not racist. He literally got married at a plantation. Literally. Y'all always want to overlook stuff like that, but you can't overlook stuff like that because those are the clues that y'all be missing. A conscious, non-racist white person who was an actual ally would never. They would never get married at a plantation. They know the history. They know the brutality. They know how we feel about it. They would never. Remember how that art exorcist that calls herself an ally for Black people got married at the plantation? Black people called her out on it. Some Black people like myself called her out on it. And y'all still supported her. Y'all be supporting these villains left and right. Left and right. And they just be out here villaining. Making money. Off your pain, off your suffering. That's what she does. Same thing with that Tizzy Ant. Same thing. She's a racist in disguise. Same thing with that Danish. A racist in disguise. Y'all stay tagging them though into Black business. Y'all stay tagging them like it's like only white people can save Black people. And that's why y'all out here saving them left and right. Because somewhere in your mind, you actually do believe that they are the superior race, and they're not. They're not. They weren't even the race that was on the planet first. They are not the superior race. If they're the superior race, why'd they come last? Why did they evolve last? If they're the superior race. If they're the superior race, why is it you can get white from Black but not Black from white? If they're the superior race. If they're the superior race, why does everybody have melanin except for them? If they're the superior race, why do they have to put their feet on everybody's neck that's not white like them? If they're the superior race, if you feel like you're superior to someone, how often do you fuck with them? If superiority means making everyone feel inferior, that's not superior. They are not the superior race. I promise you they are not. Y'all need to unlock that. Unlock it. And you need to kill that part of your brains. Kill it. Kill it. Justin Bieber does not need y'all help. I promise you, black women. We need to do better at minding our own business. We really do. He ain't our business, okay? These is rich white people's problems. Go worry about how your poor black ass gonna pay rent, because rent is due next week, okay? Y'all have a good day. With that being said, okay, if you would like to donate to The Great Escape, I'll leave that information down in the comments. If you would like to donate to the Library Pantry or just support the platform or buy me a cup of coffee, I will leave my Cash App and Venmo down in the comments. Do something nice for someone today. It will make you feel better. Giving is a spiritual process. It is. It'll help you feel better about things, you know, and it'll keep you centered and grounded. Okay? Always give more to your community than you take. Y'all have a good day.